So you might be wondering, does your teenager know the basics when it comes to English grammar? And we make that assumption sometimes and we think, yeah, they know the basics of English grammar. They did it in primary school. But do they really? I'm going to talk about what are the basics of English grammar. So I've been talking about creative writing extensively over the past few weeks. So we touched on the top 5 skills that your teenager needs to use for creative writing. Talked about last week, how can your teenager plan an engaging creative writing story? So let's move on to the basics of English grammar. Does your teenager know? We can't make that assumptions that they do know, because in high school especially, it's not really taught in a lot of schools explicitly, meaning they don't have an extensive lesson where they just go through the grammar terms. And sometimes with a class of 25 to 32 kids, you just don't have time. So your teenager might be wondering, why is grammar so important? Why do I really need to know this? How is this going to help me with my writing skills? They need to know this not only for their speaking, but for their writing as well. It's the root of language, and we need to know how to use it correctly in a sentence. Whether it is sending an email or going for an interview or filling out a job application. So this is a part of my grammar freebie that I usually give to anyone that signs up to my mailing list. So this is the freebie that you get. It's a grammar challenge lesson for your teenager. And I also got a video that shows this extensively. So check it out on my YouTube channel. But I'm going to focus closely today on the 8 parts of speech. So we're focusing on the 8 parts of speech. So let's take a closer look on how we can improve parts of our speech and writing. So number 1 here, we've got nouns, okay? So nouns are important. So this is used to name a place, person, or an object. For example, cat, van, postman, letter. For them to know if it is a noun, does it tell us about someone or something's name, okay? If it does, it's a noun. Number 2, we're looking at verbs, okay? This is a word or group that is a doing word. So sleeping, eating, and sitting. So those are examples, but you have to be careful, your teenager has to be careful of which tense they use their verbs. So making sure they understand which verbs to use in the present tense, the past tense, or the future tense. And number 3, adverbs. This tells you more about the verb and describes the action. For example, Joanne ran quickly, Toby ate slowly. And usually with adverbs, they end in ly, but they don't necessarily always need to. You also have other adverbs that don't necessarily end in ly, like almost, already, afterward. Number 4, adjectives. So this describes a noun or pronoun. For example, Tiffany was mesmerized by the stars in the sky. And adjectives can be very, very descriptive. If they understand what they are, they know how to use it in their writing to make it really descriptive on what they're talking about, what they're trying to describe. And number 5, pronouns, referring to a place or thing by not just using their actual names. For example, I, she, he. Instead of James went to the shop to get a pint of milk, you would say he went to the shop to get a pint of milk. There are different types of pronouns in the singular and plural. So just make sure they are aware of that so they can be really careful of which ones to use. Singular, like I, you, he, she, it, me, mine, and plural, we, you, they, us, you. So plural is always more than one person. Singular is one person. I know this sounds really like, oh my gosh, like your teenager is probably going to say, I know that already, with my students when they make these small little errors in their grammar especially. And number 6, prepositions, showing the relationship between certain words and giving you a context of how a subject or object is positioned. For example, Joe sat on the bench. Brandon danced with his granddad. It's really important we understand as readers, where are the characters positioned? Where are the objects positioned? Because if they miss out those prepositions, which I have seen in quite a few of my students' work sometimes, then it doesn't make the story very clear. Number 7, conjunctions. Part of speech that connects words, phrases, or clauses that are called the conjuncts or the conjunctions. The term, the discourse marker, is mostly used for conjunctions joining sentences, okay? So I did discuss this regarding with, especially when I was looking at the variety of sentence structures that you can use. So check out that video on my YouTube channel. And I was looking at simple, compound, and complex sentences. And especially with compound sentences, 2 independent clauses joined by conjunction, such as so, and, but, or, yet, so, nor. Sorry, I love conjunctions. And last but not least, number 8, interjections and exclamations. An interjection is an exclamatory word or phrase used to express a weak, mild, or strong feeling or emotion. An interjection is a part of speech in English grammar, like, oops, I did it again. Oh, what a lovely dress. You have a lot of exclamation marks used to express the emotions of that character and what is going on in the story. That is the basics of English grammar, and that is the 8 parts of speech. If you would like to purchase this grammar lesson for your teenager, just make sure you scroll down to the description box and you can click on the link of my website and sign up to get your grammar lesson for your teenager. If your teenager is really struggling with English at the moment, go to the description box below so you can go to my website and sign up for a free consultation. Thank you guys, and remember to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And remember, reach your full potential with confidence. Take care and have a lovely week. Bye.